Welcome to the Your Courageous Life podcast, where we discuss psychology and tools to help you create better habits, cultivate discipline, and live with courage, aka grit and emotional resilience. I'm your host, Kate Swoboda. Learn more about my books and get additional resources at yourcourageouslife.com. And now, here's today's episode. Hey there, it's Kate. Today's episode ties to the previous episode in which I went through a list of things that I had been learning. And one of them that I expanded on was this idea that I am my best self when. And how you finish that sentence, I think, is really powerful. As it happens, I am a meditation teacher over at the Insight Timer app. Insight Timer is completely free, and I have used it for years and years now. I've been meditating regularly since 2018, and I am talking about Insight Timer purely because I love it. I'm not getting a kickback or a referral or anything like that for mentioning the fact that I love it here today. I prepared a meditation that I'm going to be putting on Insight Timer about this concept of I am my best self when. And instead of just putting it there, I thought I would also share it with all of you here today. So this will be somewhat of a more chill track, as the kids say. Actually, I have no idea what the kids say today. I'm officially at that age where I don't know all the slang terms. Maybe you can relate. But it's going to be a little bit more of a chill situation than I typically do for the Your Courageous Life podcast. So I hope you enjoy it. I hope you can get into a space where you're comfortable and you just have some time to listen. It's only about 6-ish minutes long. And if you ever have had an interest in starting a regular meditation practice, I highly recommend Insight Timer. And just to give a little background about how I got regular about my own meditation practice, in case you, like I was, have been someone who swore to yourself you're going to have a regular practice and you swear it, but then you kind of don't follow through. That was me. Hi, I'm the problem. It's me. That was me. And then in 2018, I decided that it didn't make sense to me that so many people were talking about how some kind of meditation, mindfulness, whatever your practice is, was essential to optimal functioning and well-being. And yet I would tell myself that I was going to do it and then not do it. So at first I started with just let me get a 7-day streak. Once I'd done 7 days, I got curious about, okay, let me try 14 days. And then once I'd done 14 days, I was like, okay, let me try for a 30-day streak. You see how that goes. And it really ended up building the habit. And now I think I'm approaching a 1,000-day streak at this point. And I mean, the times I've missed my daily meditation since 2018 have been few and far between. It's happened, but it's rare. So all of that having been said, I just really feel like Insight Timer is amazing. I love it. Maybe you have other meditation apps that you use and love. I'm not knocking any of those. I just happen to really like Insight Timer. So I hope that you enjoyed today's podcast episode with a little taste of exploring and being mindful around this question of, I am my best self when, and how you would finish that sentence. Hello there. This is Kate from yourcourageouslife.com. And for today's meditation, I am inviting you to meditate on who you are when you are your best self. I am my best self when I am learning about, writing about, or teaching about the human experience. I wrote down this sentence and felt it was the truest thing I've ever known. I didn't say I was the best. I said I was my best self. My best self who is patient, kind, open to sitting with questions rather than rushing to strategize and figure them out, compassionate, curious, not needing absolutes. My best self has little care for best as a comparison. In this context, best is a personal, internal metric. When you are your best self, you can believe with full trust and faith that somehow, even without a map, you're going to be okay. So who are you when you are your best self? What qualities have space to come forth with ease? What parts of you light up bright and aren't afraid to shine? What unlocks in your heart makes you feel expansive with care for the tender experience of being human? Who is that person? And where are they right here and right now? Are they with you? Are they in the room? Do you fully claim that best self? My teacher told me when I felt lost to bring the focus back to myself and to this present moment. And later I kept thinking, how? How? And I kept sitting with how, and somewhere in there I connected both with the part of me that was tender and vulnerable and felt so incapable, and also with the part of me that had to stop the madness of turning away from myself, had to stop indulging the resistance. Because the truth was, I knew what to do. The truth was, I know who I am. The truth was, I had the ability to pull myself out from that space. Indulging resistance weakens the spirit. We think we're being kind to ourselves when we cut corners or avoid or put off what we know we must do. But when your survival is at stake, it doesn't help to pretend that you can keep on keeping on as you were, to ignore every sign that things are not aligned. Jerry Colonna asks us to consider this question: how am I complicit in creating the conditions I say I don't want? This is a question to ask ourselves. I am my best self when. Finish the sentence over and over until the click of truth happens, like a key turning neatly in a lock. Whatever that best self is, create the conditions for it to be fully alive. Do not be complicit in creating the conditions you do not want. If you are your best self when you are around the delight of children, surround yourself with children, or tap into the childlike delight within you. If you are your best self when you write, pick up a pen. If you are your best self when you are being of service, roll up your sleeves and find a way to serve. There's no need for a proclamation or the purchase of a new website domain name. There's no need to blow up your life. Who you are when you are your best self is about the aspects of your being that get to come out and be fully expressed. Not about a number to hit or an identity to take on, a to-do list to tackle. It's not a decision to start doing something. It's a decision to fully be someone. Let your shoulders unfurl enough to trust that you will land on answers. Don't be surprised if the answers come piecemeal or from unexpected places. Don't be surprised if the answers change, and what felt like the answer one day is just one of many, and a truer answer unpeels its layer to reveal itself, then another layer, then another. It's easy to become frustrated with the process, and it's easier to get back to who you truly are if you know what your best self would do with frustration, how your best self would rise to the occasion with patience, with grit, with compassion, with allowing all aspects of your experience. At the very start, you have to at least allow your own knowing of who your best self is to rise to the forefront of your mind. And then from there, it's one tiny big choice, again and again, 100 times in a day, to come back to that place. And you've got it in you. And you always did, and you always will.